Hi everyone and welcome to episode 12, the final episode of the Beta Battle at Man United, myself versus Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who can get the most out of Man United in the 2019-2020 season. One more episode to come and this is it. And you can see that we talked last episode about the fact that we'd either have one or two cup finals to play, depending on what happens in the Euro Cup, and you can see in the top right hand corner here, we do have two. We beat Lazio. If we go and have a look at the schedule, you can see that in the first leg we got a 0-0 draw away from home, which wasn't too bad at all. In the second leg we came out and we played very well and we got a 3-0 win. In between those two games, you can see we played Southampton in the Premier League and got a disappointing draw, which ultimately was the thing that sealed our fate and put us into fourth place rather than third place, really. And then we played well enough against Crystal Palace to sneak a win and then dominated our opponents for today in the last of the Premier League games, Leicester City. We then play Leicester City today in the FA Cup final. So that was a good omen for us going into the Cup final, a decent 4-0 win against Leicester City. But all that has meant that today we've got a double header of Leicester in the FA Cup final and Arsenal in the Euro Cup final. If we go and have a look at our competitions page, in the end, we did finish, as I say, in fourth place, but missed out on that third place spot by goal difference, which was a little bit disappointing, really, because of that Southampton result. And in the end, we were 4 points behind both Man City and Liverpool, Liverpool taking the title on goal difference. So, all in all, I think fourth place was about as where I thought we would probably finish. Or should I say where I hoped we would finish at the minimum, really. I hoped we would get into the top four and we managed it. And we were quite comfortable in doing so, really. What's that? 14 points above Tottenham and a lot more between then us and Leicester below them. So, yeah, very comfortable fourth place. I think it was a decent achievement. But today we can really rubber stamp this particular series with a couple of really key wins. If we could get both of these cup competitions and win them both, that would be a very, very good season, I would suggest, and really, really set Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a real challenging task to actually match that in real terms in his version of the 2019-2020 season. So today, as I say, we got the double header, Leicester and Arsenal. We have one or two issues in terms of team selection. So most people are fit and healthy, but we've got a couple of issues. One is both our left backs are injured and won't be back for either of the two games, I suspect. So we've got Muru's out for 3 weeks and Luke Shaw is currently out for up to 3 weeks. So neither one will be available for either of these two games. So Dallow's going to have to play in left back. We've also got Jared Bowen is out and he's out for about 12 days. So again, he's not going to make either of these two games, which is disappointing. Another sort of option off the bench he would have provided. And then we got the real issue, which is pretty much my fault, I would suggest, that I didn't notice for whatever reason that these three players were all being called up to under-20s tournaments and matches at the same time as that we're playing our big cup finals, and so I didn't withdraw them from the squad because I just didn't notice it was an issue, to be honest. So James Garner, Mabry and Gomez are all away on international duty with the under-20s sides, and they won't be available for the last two matches either, and that's my error, that's my bad. But what that leaves us with is quite a depleted squad that we can just about fill the amount of players on the team sheet that we need on this particular occasion. We'll talk about the Euro Cup after this game, depending on what happens. But that's left us slightly random in terms of what we've got at our disposal. So for the first of these two important finals, the FA Cup against Leicester City, the team's going to be De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka at right back, Dalot at left back, Lindelof and Maguire in central defence, Pereira, McTominay, Pogba in central midfield, Lingard on the right, Rashford on the left, Dembele up top, with Romero, Bailly, Nzabi, Chowdhury, Cook, James and Martial on the bench. So let's get into the FA Cup final and see what happens. So for the team talk, I've gone with there's a trophy on the line, go out and show everyone that you're born winners. And it's pretty much got a good reaction all the way across the team. enough people motivated and showing signs that they're interested and up for the game. So let's get into kick-off and go to Wembley and find out how we get on against a decent Leicester City side. Finished, a little way off us in terms of the amount of points that they had in the Premier League, but in position terms we're only a couple of places below us. Apparently there was an opportunity early on there for us, but we didn't quite manage to get a goal from it, but we got a corner from it, and Pereira with the corner, far post. It gets partially cleared and fully cleared up to Maddison for Leicester, and they counter-attack on us on the corner kick. And can we get a foot in? We try there, and it was a foul. It looks like McTominay tripped Maddison, and so the highlight died at that point, but that's okay. We are doing okay in terms of our opportunities at goal in the early stage of the game, but possession stats are dreadful in comparison to what Leicester have got, and that's something that we're going to have to address. There was a long goal kick that Maguire headed out, but Leicester picked up the loose ball, and Gray into the penalty box has a shot at goal, and it was a good save in the end by De Gea. Those wide shots are an issue though, aren't they? I would suggest most people playing this beta version of Football Manager 20. Too many wide shots from too severe an angle. Again, Gray over the top on the right hand side. Can he cut the ball in? He can, but Lindelof gets the header on. Poor clearance then by Dalot though, and Leicester get another opportunity, but we pick up the loose ball eventually and regain possession, and Rashford sprints forward down the left hand side, but Ricardo's like a brick wall in front of him, and Rashford loses possession. And again, Leicester City can build up from their defensive midfield area with Ndidi and onto Tielemans. Back to Ndidi, and they keep possession very, very nicely. Again onto Tielemans. Can they get a shot away? There's Vardy with the shot, and good save by De Gea. And then it's booted away for another corner kick for Leicester City, and we feel like we're under a little bit of pressure here in the half-hour mark of the FA Cup final. Maddison with the corner kick, an easy clearance, but only to Tielemans, who can then rebuild the attack from Leicester City's point of view. Maddison down the right-hand side, and a free kick was given because Maddison was offside, so that regains us possession. You can see we've got a lot of nerves going along, and I don't like that at all. So we're going to pause the game and go into a shout. And let's encourage them just to see if we can get rid of those nerves and hopefully have a better sort of last 15 minutes of the first half. Let's see if that helps them and does anything about it. It hasn't seemed to do much, has it? There's a bit of motivation from McTominay, but everybody's still quite nervy, and I don't like that at all. We should be most confident about playing our own game in this sort of occasion. But we have possession. Pereira onto Lingard. Lingard with the ball over the top for Rashford to link onto. And a decent attempt by Rashford, but Schmeichel in the Leicester City goal parries the ball round the side of the goal for a corner kick. So again, Pereira with the chance to put a corner in. It does so at the near post, but it gets partially cleared. But McTominay picks up the loose ball. He and Maguire have a couple of keep ball sessions, and then the first half whistle goes. And it was a bit of a disappointing first half for us, really, wasn't it? We didn't have too much of the possession stats really at all. Got some decent shots, opportunities, but didn't take any of them. And we go in at half-time at 0-0. So we're going to have to really G them up. So assertively, we're going to say, I'm not happy with that performance. Let's see if we can fire them up and get them motivated and take away some of these nerves. So let's get back into that second half. But the nerves remain, and I don't like that in the slightest. But that's the couple of team talks and shouts that we've given now, and it hasn't been able to change it. I suspect the only thing that's going to change it now is a goal. So let's see if we can get one. And we do! Pereira with the corner kick down our right-hand side, crosses it deep to the far post in the 6-yard box, and it's Dembele that gets his head onto the ball. Great cross in from Pereira, and there's a really good header right into the top corner, and Schmeichel didn't have a chance. And we go one up, and immediately that calms the nerves. Look at that. We've still got Pogba and a little bit creeping back in again, but it calmed them immediately. So can we maintain this lead for a while at least and try and build on it? Lingard sprints down that right hand side almost from penalty box to penalty box there, and we regain possession in midfield from Dalot, again out wide to Lingard, cuts it into Pereira, who again cuts it into Pogba. Where's the opportunity going to come from? and it's Dalot, and he rides a challenge, gets in the box, and Dalot with a shot, but it's a slightly awkward shot, and Schmeichel picks the ball up with no major problems, I would suggest. And again, the nerves have crept in, but now you can see the anxiety and frustration in the Leicester defensive area as well. So we've reached the oh no, I've pressed the wrong button then and gone back on ourselves. Let's click back onto the live moment. That's the button I wanted. It's time to make a couple of substitutions. So Wan-Bissaka and Dalot are our only full-back options, but we could play Tuanzebe there, and we're going to, because Wan-Bissaka wasn't having a great game and picked up a yellow card. So Tuanzebe is going to play right back for the last few minutes. He's done it occasionally for us. And then looking further forward, we've got two issues, I would say. One in McTominay, and he's going to be replaced by Chowdhury, just having a 6.5 rating, and that's not good enough. And Chowdhury obviously is up against his former club in Leicester City, so hopefully that will go in our favour. And Rashford's got a yellow card and also a 6.8, so we're going to take him off and put Daniel James on for the last few minutes of the FA Cup final. And press play again and try and get through this last 10 minutes and sort of sneak a win, really. You can see that possession stats are a bit more even, but we've had way more opportunities at goal, which has been encouraging. Down to the last few seconds. Can we win it? We can. Man United, FA Cup winners for 2019-2020 season. Not a classic final, but they're hard to be classic finals sometimes, aren't they? Because nobody really wants to lose more than they do to win, almost at times. You can see that Pereira was man of the match for his decent free kicks and corner kicks. His set pieces were great. Dembele got a goal, which puts his rating up there as well. But Dalot and Maguire also played quite well, didn't they? And ultimately, that's the sort of victory that we needed. We needed just to get it done and win the cup and move forward. So I'll hand over to Mike Phelan, who can say that we should let the team know we appreciate their efforts, which we'll do, gaining in confidence. That's great. And now we're going to go into our Euro Cup. You see, the achievement unlocked, Cup Glory, which is great. Can we get more, though? So bear with me for a second, and I will come back in the build-up for the Euro Cup final against Arsenal. So here we are on the day of the Euro Cup final against Arsenal. Obviously a neutral venue, which is good, gives nobody an advantage in that sense. In terms of team selection, we've got the same issues that we've had for the last couple of games in terms of a couple of players out in international duty for under-20s and 2 or 3 players injured and unavailable to play today, which is unfortunate and disappointing. So it gives us limited options on the bench, which is really unfortunate, but that's just the hand that we've been dealt, so we just have to get on with it. Having said all of that, we can play exactly the same side that was successful in the FA Cup final in the last game a couple of days ago. So the team remains: De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka at right back, Dalot at left back, Lindelof and Maguire in central defence, Pereira, McTominay, Pogba in central midfield, Lingard on the right, Rashford on the left, and Dembele up top. And the rest of our fit players we've put on the bench because we were enabled to do that in the Euro Cup. So it's Romero, Jones, Bailly, Tuanzebe, Chowdhury, Cook, James, Martial, all on the bench. So let's get into the Euro Cup final and see if we can get even more success in the cup competitions. So let's see what happens. So in terms of team talk, it felt like a day where it was really important for me to build them up and build up their confidence and motivation. So we went for the team talk of these fans have been fantastic for us. They're the ones who really pay your wages. Go out there and win it for them. And then in the individual sections of the side, both defence, midfield and attack, I then went in and said to them, I have faith in you, go out there and make the difference. And you can see it's got a reasonably good response from pretty much the entire side, which is fabulous. So that enables us to go in with a bit of confidence into the Euro Cup final. So if we go into kickoff, neutral venue, of course, so 50-50 in terms of the amount of fans in, big cup occasion. And we get a really challenging game against Arsenal, who finished on the same amount of points that we did in the Premier League and beat us on goal difference. So it's time for us to show that we're the better side, really. And there's an early chance for Rashford. If he wasn't offside again, that's a brilliant start after 4 minutes or so. Let's just check in with the replay and make sure there was no issues with that. But it's off again. It's off a Pereira free kick, a Pereira set piece, and Dembele gets the header over the top of the defence in the penalty box, and Rashford's the one to react to it, and we take a very early lead, and that's really encouraging. Again, similar position with Pereira. This time he goes for the shot, and it just grazes the top of the goal rather than being on target, just goes slightly over the top. But another great opportunity to show that he's a real set-piece master. And Maguire with the throw-in down the left-hand side. Dembele picks up the ball, cuts inside onto his right foot, but loses out, and Aubameyang comes away with the ball for Arsenal, and they get an opportunity to build up, and they go over the top, but Lindelof gets hold of the ball and heads it back into our midfield. Ball straight over the top for Dembele. Good opportunity, but Martinez makes the save, and Dembele didn't quite have the composure to put it away on that particular occasion. But we've started very brightly. Tierney for them down the left-hand side on the throw-in, and they eventually cut it back all the way to the goalkeeper, who then resets their attack right the way from defence into midfield down the right-hand side. And Dalot, brilliant, playing on the left side of defence because of our injuries, but gets a really good foot in and enables us to reset ourselves. And again, we go over the top for Dembele. Excuse me, as I clear my throat, but that was a bit of an aimless ball on that occasion, wasn't it? Which was unfortunate. Pogba, good foot in there. Dembele, good challenge. Pogba comes away with the ball. Rashford into the box, and there's another great strike from Rashford. And we go 2-0 up after 28 minutes, and I'm feeling really great about the game at this moment. But there were some really good challenges in there. Pogba, great challenge. Dembele follows it up and gets a foot in. Pogba picks up the loose ball, puts it into Rashford, gets it out from under his feet, powers the shot in off the crossbar and just over the line, and we go 2-0 up. And what a really great first half it's been. Can we keep the pressure on and really put this to bed early and maybe sneak another goal before half-time? Here's an opportunity down our left-hand side. Dalot with the throw-in, back from Pogba to Dalot. And we're playing a little bit in our defensive area, which I had my heart in my mouth a little bit. We cleared the ball nicely, but it was, again, aimless, and Arsenal are able to come back at us down that right-hand side this time and into the penalty box. Can they get a shot away? Tierney with the shot, but I think it cannoned off the bar, did it, maybe? No, it was a great De Gea save, which was really, really fabulous. Well done, De Gea. Corner kick comes in, partially cleared onto the edge of the box. Again, the long shot, and De Gea is called into action, but tips it over the top of the crossbar for another Arsenal corner. Again, the corner comes in, and it goes to the near post, and we get a good header from Maguire away. But again, Arsenal pick up the loose ball. Can they get another attempt at goal? No, the referee has his flag up, or the linesman, sorry, because one of their players was offside. And that calms down that little attempt that they had of trying to get back into the game. And we go in at half-time, 2-0 up. You can see in attempts, it's pretty even. Possession, we're being outplayed by Arsenal a bit in terms of possession. We've gone slightly more direct here and there, but it's worked for us so far because the only stat that really matters is that we're 2-0 up. So I'm going to go in there and passionately say I'm very happy with the way things are going. Keep it going. Keep them all up and delighted for the game. Here's an opportunity for us to really cement ourselves on this season as a good season by winning another piece of silverware. We get an opportunity down the left-hand side for Dalot, cuts it inside to Rashford, back to Dalot, back to Pogba. Can we find the opportunity? No, Pogba's pass across the penalty box gets cut out, and Arsenal counter on us very quickly. Lacazette, but again, De Gea is in the way and parries it wide for another corner kick for Arsenal. He's been very good so far, De Gea. It would be disappointing for him if he weren't to keep a clean sheet after a performance like this. The corner kick was a bit disappointing, but Arsenal maintained possession. But we're pushing them back, and the highlight ends. Good defensive stability there. We really held our shape and gradually pushed them away from the danger zone. Where's the next highlight going to come from? Is it going to be for us? It is for us, down the left-hand side with Dalot on the throw-in. Onto Rashford, onto Dembele, into the box, wide left down the box. But Caballos gets a foot in, and Pepe picks up the loose ball and runs almost half the length of the football pitch with the ball. Rides a challenge from Dalot and then hits the post, and eventually De Gea pounces onto the loose ball. A really good shot then. That would have been some goal, the commentary said. but it cannons off the goalkeeper, and Pereira with an opportunity for a corner onto the far post. Maguire finds it. Is he going to go out? He's not. He's going to go above the penalty box to McTominay. Pogba with the long shot, and again it was a decent save by the goalkeeper, but we end up with another corner kick. Can Pereira get this one right and find a head of one of our attacking players? It went long to Dembele at the far post, but he loses out slightly, but regains the possession. Good work from Dembele. Back to Maguire, and on that occasion, that was all the highlight was. Into the 70th minute, let's go and check in with our side. The last opportunity to make some changes of the season. What have we got going on? So we've got, it's interesting, isn't it? Pereira seemed to be at the heart of a lot of stuff, but isn't playing particularly well, so we need to think about that. Lingard also not playing particularly well. The rest of the side doing okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to take Lingard off and bring James on, and we are going to take Pereira off, and we're going to bring Cook on, and we're going to switch Cook and Pogba and let Pogba play in the slightly more advanced role and Cook on the deep-lying playmaker role. And then Dembele, he's assisted one but not scored one, having had a couple of opportunities. So I'm going to bring him off and bring Martial on, who's played well for us this season when he's come on and has got a bucket load of goals as well. So give him a chance to see if he can get on the score sheet in the Euro Cup final and really cement this win for us. We've got about 5 minutes plus added time for us to hold on to our 2-0 lead. Wan-Bissaka with a free kick in our defensive area goes right the way over the top for Martial to use his pace, and there's a brilliant finish again by one of our forward players using his pace to get away. This time it was Martial, and held his nerve in the one-on-one situation with the goalkeeper. Great free kick over the top by Wan-Bissaka. Saw the run of Martial, who latches onto it and then powers it past the goalkeeper, who didn't stand a chance. And we go 3-0 up, and that is pretty much game over. An opportunity for us to build up again from the back. It goes long to James down the right-hand side, and he tries to ride a challenge and does so. And Rashford on the far post, and that really kills the game. 4-0 after 87th minute. And it was a lovely move down the right-hand side from Daniel James, who eventually crosses the ball in and finds Rashford coming in on that far post. He rode a couple of challenges here. There's the one through there. And then it's Rashford with the volley, scissor kick volley on the left, on his left foot on the far post, and puts it past the goalkeeper for a 4-0 win. And we've got our second cup competition piece of silverware, which is fabulous. And Man United end the season really positively. And I'm really, really delighted with that particular performance. The last couple of games have been a bit sort of hit and miss in terms of some of our performances, but results have gone for us, and that's been brilliant. And today it all came together, and we played well and got the result that we were looking for as well. So we're going to passionately say I'm very happy with that and the way that you played, the result and the way you played. And go in and find out what the board, etc., have got to say for it. Lots of news feeds. So we lift the Euro Cup, we celebrate the double cup competition. There's some payouts for the players. We get some money as a club for it, which is great. Lots of medals have been handed out to those that have played in the cup competition for us. I lead the team to more glory. I please the board, which is great. Rashford on form. More money because of the television revenue. We receive even more money for the coefficient ranking. We paid out a bit for various reasons on the pro rata basis for winning the Euro Cup. And there's the review for the Euro Cup, and we are crowned the winners, and we regain the trophy that we won a couple of seasons ago under Mourinho. So there you go, folks. That ends this particular series, this particular save, the beta battle at Man United, myself and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who can get the most out of us. So we've played our part and done it. As I record this, we're sitting in mid-November of 2019, so Solskjaer has now got several months to finish off his version of 2019-20 season, and then we'll come back in May and look and see who did best. But I think I've set him a really tough challenge. We didn't do so well in the Carabao Cup, got knocked out in the fourth round by Manchester City, but we won the FA Cup with a good win in the final against Leicester. We won the Euro Cup with a magnificent performance in the final against Arsenal, and we were fairly unlucky to finish in fourth and not quite get that third spot from Arsenal in the Premier League. But I think on 83 points, after 38 matches for a club that was in slight transition. I think we did very well, and it was a very comfortable top 4 finish in the end. So here's the challenge, really. Ultimately, the challenge is simple. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, are you listening? Are you hearing me? Can you do better than that? Can you get more than a couple of bits of silverware and a 4th place league finish in the Premier League? And my thought is, I bet you can't. But give it a good go, and I'll be back in May for a catch-up video on the beta battle to see how we actually compared in the end. But that'll do it for this series. I'll be back in the next couple of days with a brand new journeyman save. It's called Rolling in the Isles. It's a British Isles journeyman save. So look out for that, and join me for the ride in our journeyman save, which is going to take over the channel for the next few months. But that'll do it for this particular series. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not subscribe to the channel and keep up to date with the videos that are coming out, including Rolling in the Isles. If you enjoyed this particular episode, then why not click a like on it for me? Help me get seen by other people. That's the YouTube algorithm and how it works. The more I get likes, the more people will see me. So if you could help me do that, that would be great. If you're playing Football Manager yourself, let me know how you're getting on, or what you're excited as the official release date comes along for Football Manager 20. What are you excited to do in terms of teams that you're going to be playing with? But until next time, for Rolling in the Isles, this is the United City FM signing off. Thanks very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.